Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Grey Wolf 2484. Today we're going to be starting a very interesting series. I got this little idea in my head about wanting to try and see if it was possible to take an Alpha to Omega through semi-unconventional means. I'm going to be trying to make a ship that is basically a support ship. And the idea is that, theoretically, I go around to combat sites, and while also being able to do them myself, I want to also be able to support people, if possible. I don't know what all the limitations of an alpha are, but I'm going to look. We're going to look and we're going to explore it and see what exactly are the limitations. Now, I actually have a weird alliance to the Galente force. So we'll be making a Galente group.
The only true democracy of New Eden, the Galente Federation is a powerful and prosperous multicultural dominion that welcomes outsiders with open arms. Intolerant of closed societies, the Galente are fierce defenders of personal and social liberties.
Alright. We're making a Galente. And let's do an Inataki male. Why not? Now we are just going to kind of randomize this stuff until we get something that looks good. Because otherwise I could let the wife step over here and I'm not going to lie, we'd be here forever.
Not that bad.
5 15-minute sections on our last set of videos, dear.
Not that bad. Besides, you liked it.
I did.
Which reminds me, now that we picked up. What was that?
I don't know. Apparently we're supposed to talk to Sun Lone today.
Oh, the rain started.
How's it finally?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
But are we gonna be doing the Fallout 4 on recording?
We'll be doing it on stream.
Okay.
I don't think we'll do it on recording.
I mean, I didn't know if you'd upload it the stream after.
Who is messaging me? Like, seriously, I put this darn thing on silent.
Oh, it's raining pretty good out there too.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and here comes the breeze.
Alright, invert zoom direction.
This is so much more in depth than when I first started Eve years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it might as well have been 2D back then. But it was before they, as far as I was aware, they even imagined the Dust game.
Now, for those of you who may be watching this and going, well, I'm just about to start Eve, I will have a referral link down in the bottom, which will give you 250,000 referral point or skill points for being one of my referrals. But that's by no means the way that you have to do that. Like, you can start Eve without having to have a referral. Like, it is very much doable. Can we get something a little more classy? Maybe these? No, that's too dark. And of course it locks up. Let's try these. Like, in all honesty, your character customization, for the most part, is really just whatever you like. There's no bonuses or negatives for doing any particular thing. Alright, now. Let's see. Artists. Play the talkie, create the most stunning and thought-provoking art in the cluster. Yeah. And then we're gonna do City for Advanced Studies. Alright. And this character's name. Jezzy, give me a first name.
I don't know.
Sebastian, and then a last name.
Sebastian's the first name?
Yes.
Cotol?
Cotol.
Coatl.
Coatl.
Yeah, like the like Quetzalcoatl, feathered dragon.
So coat and then an L.
Yes.
Name is available. Alright. And like I said, we're going to be trying to go from beginning to Omega. I'm going to try and have it all streamed and everything.
Failures included.
Yep.
Guys.
Failures included. I do want to preface this that I do have two Omega accounts.
Calling any convoy Zephyr 10 hotel survivors. Come in, all survivors. Showing a surviving trainer corvette. What's your status? Recruit. Wake up and respond. This is a mess. Recruit. What do you remember? Did you even see the drifter ambush that warped into your location and decimated the convoy? I guess you panicked. Remember that? Well, recruit, I am Fleet Commander Terrell, Federal Intelligence Office. From now on, I am your commanding officer, and together, we have to figure out what happened here. I'm going to lift your training restrictions and grant you access to your ship's onboard AI. Say hi to Aura. She'll help you get your bearings.
Okay, so officially there's, like, actually a tutorial now.
Oh. They're actually teaching people what to do.
Yeah, like a real tutorial.
I wish I had that.
Has been proven to
Buzz
increase
had
the
to
odds
teach
of
me
survival
everything.
by several orders of magnitude. But I am only capable of
Except
advising
for
you.
all the scavenger
You must
stuff.
make decisions for yourself. Simulations have proven that situational awareness is key to survival. I will now demonstrate how to become aware and alert. Captain, if you close my comms window for any reason, you will be able to recall it through the operations info panel. To zoom in or out, let's test basic navigation functions. According to my log, to stop your ship, you should click the hyper.
You've got to be kidding me. Is this a joke? My records are saying you haven't even graduated from flight school yet.
So the backstory is you haven't
Looks like you're all
graduated
I've got
even
to
from
work with.
flight school yet. You're the
Fine.
only one that survived a
But I need
Richter
you to
attack.
get moving. My sensor feed is indicating
for being a
additional
natural?
life signals near your
Or luck of
location.
the draw?
Your convoy was transporting a critically important research team. If the information they have were to be retrieved by the drifters, it would be a security disaster for the Federation. You need to survey the convoy wreckage for potential survivors.
Okay.
Captain, I have received faint signals from 3 survivors. To help determine the location of the signal, you should use the look and approach functions of your ship to get closer.
Okay, let's look real quick at what ships we actually have access to. Yeah, tutorial. I
Focus your
hear you.
camera on a piece of wreckage. Right-click on the wreckage and select the look at.
Okay, so basically anything you see past this symbol here, we can't use.
But not for piloting. To reset your view, right-click in space and select look at.
Okay, so we have access to a Vexor. That's what we want to head towards right there. Remote armor repair. Like, do we not have a shield version in this tree? Is there not a... By the way, guys, I am not by any means, like, amazing at this game. That's why I wanted to do this. Because I don't know a ton about the game, and what I do on my current Omegas is I do mining for Plex. So, I do a ton of mining on my other two characters. I actually run a Orca and a small mining fleet. So yeah, it looks like this is going to be our go-to. That thing just went off again, didn't it?
I don't think so.
I can smell it.
Smell what?
The air freshener thing.
Oh, that thing.
Okay, so for those of you who are going to be watching this and have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, right now there is an option on the left-hand side that you can go to, this little symbol here, that'll open up the ship tree. It does allow you to look at what ships you have available. In fact, I'll go ahead and close that so I can explain. This allows you to look at what ships are available. You start off flying the Velator, which is your beginner trainer corvette. You can get things like this little Galente shuttle, or, you know, this Imicus, or any of these ships here. But because you're an alpha clone, you can't go past any of these symbols. So, like, for instance, we can't get this Tyrannus, or this Ares. You know, we can't get those. However, we can get the, like, beginner forms of them. And what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to actually look at the ship that I wanted to go to. Because remember, we're going to do something kind of unconventional. We're going to do like an armor repair, but still be able to fight. So we're going to be doing an Execuar. I actually am probably mispronouncing that horribly. Feel free to let me know, because that's hilarious. But we're going to... When you right-click on a ship, you can go to Simulate Ship. When you simulate a ship, it brings up a ghost model of it. This is something they added here fairly recently. I'd say within the last 4 months. And then you can click on this gear, and then click Hardware, and you can actually look for pieces. Now, mind you, this is me using extra knowledge that I have to look for these things. So, up here are the different slots. Each slot has a symbol. Each symbol corresponds to a different slot on your ship. So, for instance, this has 4 mid slots, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 low slots, and 3 high slots. Okay? So, effectively, what I'm going to be looking for to start off with is high slots. And again, a lot of this will go over your head. I'm just building something for later. Right now, just mainly focus on the tutorial. So let's see. Hull and armor repairers, because we want armor repairers, because we get bonuses to that. And I guess small. Let's just start basic. Small remote armor repair. Okay, so that allows us to effectively be able to heal somebody else. Like, that's what we do. As long as we're within 50 kilometers of them, we can heal them for 55 HP per 3 seconds. That basically makes us, if you're from WoW, this makes you the cleric. If you're from any other game, you're the healer or medic. That's your job. Now, granted, we're also going to be making this thing to where it can fight by itself, too. It's not just... I just repair things. Now, something I did notice, this does have a drone bay. Okay. So... What about... Can we do shield repair, too? I want to do small on those as well. Okay, so we can't do that. I guess I should have checked over here too. Okay, we can do remote shield boosting, but we can't do we can do armor boosting, but we can't do shield boosting. Okay. So then we want to look into things for combat. So, what type of combat do we want to do? Well, let's look at the ship. All ships have traits, and they have things that they get bonuses to. So, for instance, remote armor repairers, it gets, bonuses. It does more in the healing amount, and it also costs less to do it. And as a roll, it also gets a bonus to the optimal range and the fall-off range. What's logistics drone? Acquired for... Oh my god, there are remote armor drones. There are remote armor drones, Jesse. Okay, we want to add that to our repertoire. So real quick, let me do that. We will look at hull and armor. Or no, it'll be under drones. Drones, logistic drone. Oh, jeez. We want a light armor maintenance drone. I think you can only have 3 going at a time, so we'll have 3 of those, but at the same time we also want to have 3... we want to have a salvage drone, which we'll take 2. We'll take 2 salvage drones. What these do right here, this allows us to effectively, after a battle's over, we can 1, heal everybody up that was involved in it, and then 2, we can then eat all the wreckage of anybody that didn't make it, or any enemies that didn't make it, which allows us to make lots of money.
But you don't know how to pilot a Noctis.
I don't know how to pilot a Noctis, but you could have not brought that up on the recording. Thanks, dear.
I mean, it helps reassure people that you don't know everything.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 3 hobgoblins, 3 armor maintenance drones, 2 salvage drones. What else do we need on this, dear?
For being out there.
Yeah.
What are you outfitting?
Currently fitting an armor repairer. And by the way, guys, again, for this section right now, I'm more trying to look and see what we're going to need as a cost-wise. That's what this over here is. Tell me kind of the average of what we're going to have to pay to be able to get everything.
But you want some way to defend yourself.
Well, we've got hobgobs.
I know.
I've got 3 hobgoblins, 3 armor repair, 2 salvagers, and I've got room for 2 more drones.
You put our hobgob 1s? Or hobgob 2?
Hobgob 1s.
Okay, maybe...
Again, remember, alphas, extremely limited, so think beginner drones.
I know. I'd say 1 extra of your armor repair and 1 extra hobgob. Because
Okay.
salvagers, people don't usually pick on them, but your hobgobs and armor repair have a chance of being destroyed bigger than the salvagers.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, and that fills up the drone bay. So now we don't have to think about drones. Alright, so the next thing is we want to think about how do we protect ourselves. Like, we need to be able to fight. So, what are we going to do for fights? We've got 3 turret slots. If we look at our ship info again...
What are you training up skills-wise at the moment?
Ooh, we need to unfit that. I need to change that, because we're apparently a medium drone. We're a medium ship, so we do medium armor repair. Skills-wise, we haven't even touched skills yet. We'll get into that here in a bit. So we need to think, what type of weapons do we want?
I'd say laser over missiles, so you're not having to carry extra.
Well, we don't have any missile hardpoints, so we can't mount missiles. By the way, to tell what your ship can mount, right here are your turret hardpoints. Right here would be your missile hardpoints. This ship doesn't have any missile hardpoints at all. Alright, so, medium pulse laser, maybe?
I don't know, I wasn't too much on the combat.
I know. What's like the average range on this thing? So these you have to be real close to. Real gun. We don't necessarily want to be up in the combat. We kind of want to be back far. Alright, let's look at this. Alright, what's it used with? These are used with the... Okay, but those are Omegas only. Oh, see, that's gonna be the problem where we're gonna run into a lot. Is there are some things that just are outside of our ability to use. What does it require? So we can't use energy weapons. We have to use projectile, I guess. Okay. Just as a joke, can we mount a fucking howitzer on this? No, we cannot. Just had to look. No, so we cannot mount anything artillery on this. Darn it! I wanted to make this thing like an artillery long shot cannon. So let's look at these.
Kitten was not phased.
Okay, what can we use with Gunnery 1?
Nothing.
Good God. Okay, so we are fairly limited on our choices here. Jeez. Cool thing you can do over here, by the way, notice I pulled up that window. You can then type the name, so anode and space light. It's like, what's the range on this? 2000? God. Requirements, Gunnery 1, show info. I mean, I don't mind a Gatling gun or a railgun, because at least railguns you can kind of stay back. So let's look for this. 150 rail. Railgun 1s, and we can't use 2s, right? 2s are out of limits. Can we use a duel? We could use a duel. Alright, we're just gonna mount 2 duels on this. And then, look up show info. You are used with these. Which one gives the range bonus? So one, by the way, for everyone that looks at these and goes, "Oh my God, antimatter charges! They hit so hard." Yeah, but you also have to be like right on top of your target. So just keep that in mind. You have to be on top of your target for those to work. Let's just do Iron Charge M.
children out here, right?
I don't think so, dear. Okay, so we can do 13 damage a second. Woo! Actually, what about tungsten? Alright, we'll do tungsten instead. So the next thing is modules. Need to find some mid-slot modules here. For those of you who are be a little curious, looking up builds for specific ships. Is always a good idea. Just again, because you're on an alpha, you will have to look and see what you can actually fit. Because a lot of these fits are going to be like, oh man, you know, build this big thing here, and you really can't build those at all. Because like for instance, this Execure, most people want you to fit all armor reps on it, so that you're literally just repping all the time. But we're trying to build kind of a defense build as well. I mean, an attacking build as well, so it's kind of off-putting. So next we're switching to mids, and then we're gonna go.
Always good to have direction that you want to move into, though.
Yes. Timon in Afterburner. You want an Afterburner mainly for the simple fact that it allows your ship to go faster. Like, because like without this, our max speed is 276. With this, our max speed is 573. So this is technically usable. Don't exactly know how it works, but it is usable. So we're saying these two things are going to be active. We're not always going to be repairing somebody. Alright. Can be activated on targets increases their scan radius. No, we want ours to be increased. Make sure we can use it. Cool, we can. We use the 2 form. No, we cannot. So, there, that gives us a farther range that we can target at. Alright, now the next thing is to get to low slots. Biggest thing of all to remember with these is the drone damage amplifier. I don't know if you can necessarily use that on here, but our drones are going to be a very large portion of our damage. You know, actually, we're gonna go utility. I'm gonna change something up here. I wanna see if I can get webs. Can I use stasis webifiers? Cool, I can. We're gonna fit that instead of that sensor booster, because as long as we're within 10 kilometers of somebody, we can slow them down. Which, whenever someone's slowed down, they do a lot less, like, they can avoid a lot less damage. So let's see, then we want We can use the 2 form, but it's so far out. I would just rather use the 1 form. And then damage control. Can we use the 2 form? Yeah, once again, it's a ways out. Kind of want to be able to get this ship up and running as soon as possible, kind of thing. Now, what else do they recommend? Which everybody's got these. Kinetic plating. Kinetic plating 1. Explosive plating. Nano. Should use this one. Guess I should have been checking all these to make sure I can use them. Now, all these things do is basically just make your ship take more damage. Really, 800, huh? Wow. Now this is a build. This build alone, just by itself, costs almost 10 million. Now, a lot of you who are going to be starting out are going to be like, oh my god, that's so much money. You can actually make that pretty quickly. Just doing mission running and such, it's not going to take long. Okay, so now to think about rigs. Now, rigs once installed cannot be uninstalled. They are a permanent thing. Wow, do they really say 3 of these? Now, are they 1 or 2s? They're 1, 1, 1. Okay, so how exactly do these benefit? Ship modification designed to reduce the capacitor need of a ship's remote armor repair modules at the expense of max velocity. Drawbacks of this rig may be... Okay. So... And then, I'm always a fan of a Trimark. Well, yes, we are technically slow. It does make us a tank. Okay, so then what you want to do is right after this, you'll do you'll just save this and hopeful build. This is what we want to. This is what we want to get. So then we're gonna save it. That's done. Now we can go through the tutorial. Now, mind you, you don't have to do that. You can literally just build a ship as you're going. Like, that is totally okay. I'm just doing that because this is going to be a long series, and we're basically going to want to have a goal. So, for that, I probably should have looked at that a little more. Personal fittings, cruiser, Lente. Okay, view fitting. We're gonna need to get a skill for that. So this is something you'll have to do, is go through and look and see what you need skills for. Because there will be some things you just don't have the skills for right off the bat. So... see, some of these we're not going to be able to use right off the bat. Oh, is a salvage drone really Omega locked? Ugh. Okay, so note to self, salvage drones are Omega locked.
Probably because you can make such good money with it.
Well, then time to go back and look at drones again. Like, I know these are going to be Omega locked. Yeah. That doesn't even surprise me. Can I get mining drones? I mean... ice mining is going to be a definite no. But what about just, like, a standard mining drone? You can't even use mining drones. Wow. Okay. We're just going to add another hobgob. And then we're going to add another armor repair drone. So there we go. That's our now new hopeful build. That kind of sucks. Alright, then we're gonna view fitting, and again we want to look through and see what all we need skills for. These guys, these won't take very long to get. But we can go ahead and start the right up here. We can go to drone. Because even though you see two 8-hour timers, that's actually only a singular 8-hour timer. Oops, nope, we don't need to do that. Remove. So, EVE Online, for those who are not aware, trains in real time. So when you see 8 hours, that doesn't mean 8 hours in-game time, which would be like 30 minutes, in other games. No. This is 8 real hours for you to be able to use this. Okay? So, what you want to do is try and see where you want to go so that you can look at this and go, okay, I want to do this because of da-da-da-da-da, right? And then you can start figuring out where you need to go. So, for instance, this light armor maintenance bot, we're not going to be able to use for a while. Notice how it says it's going to take 12 days, 19 hours? Yeah, that's really going to take 12 days to get to. So, and you only have a queue of about a day. So, notice how I've got something queued up a little past, 2 days? Well, that's because I queued up this 4 one, which is going to take 1 day, 17 hours, right? So the biggest portion of these are going to be getting the drones up and running. But that being said, we also want to look over here at these cap rechargers, because we will want them. So then we'll go over here, rather than drone, we'll look up energy. Energy grid upgrades. We need to get to level 3 on that. So that's 2... That's 3. And that's all of our queue, right? Just right there. Just for those 2 things. That's not even considering going and getting the skills for this one. Or getting the requirements for this one either. Like, that's not including those. We'll probably end up getting this one as soon as we get some cash on hand, but... you kind of want to get stuff training as soon as possible, because the longer it takes to train... I mean, the bigger... Like, for instance, this ship's a big build. This is not a complete rookie build. I mean, it's made by a rookie, but, I mean, still. But it's going to take a while to build. So, what we'll do is we'll Close this down. Close this down. Now we'll officially do the tutorial. So she wants us to go over here.
To transfer everything from their cargo hold to your own, move your mouse pointer over the wreckage and hold down the left mouse button. A radial menu will appear. Select
Oh, cool. They added a
the
radial
contents
menu to be able to loot, Jesse.
and then press the loot all button.
Can you put in your own music?
No, loot.
Oh.
A radial menu for looting.
Oh, radial. I thought you said a radio.
No.
So you can have, like, something to listen to while you're in the depths of space. That would be
After
nice
you
for
have
me to do,
clicked
though.
the loot all button, you should close the inventory window
I doubt
using
it
the
happened,
X in the corner. I'm receiving signals that indicate the next survivor is located in the highlighted wreckage. Right-click on the wreckage and to transfer the next survivor to your ship, you should repeat the same steps as before. Move your mouse pointer over the wreckage and hold down the left mouse button. A radial menu.
There's actually a warp
Select
disruption
Open
bubble here
Cargo to view the contents
to
and
keep you
then
from
press
warping
the
away
loot
from the
all
tutorial.
button.
That's funny.
I wonder if that was a big issue.
Probably was. Probably a lot of players were like, ooh, hey, my friend says to just warp to them.
You should now transfer the last survivors to your ship. Don't forget to close the inventory windows after you have finished.
Alright, so here we are. Out of the tutorial almost, I believe. Now, mind you, there is a really hard way to make a ton of money if you're just a miner, or have seen mining and think, oh, that looks fun. There is a way to do it, but don't do it the way I did it. I did it,
You were complicated.
I went and got...
Captain, I am Professor Tannen from the Sisters of Eve research team. Thank you for saving my life. The attack was complete carnage. Thousands were killed. Excellent. You are in the optimal position. I suggest you fire your primary weapon.
I was listening to what Dr. Tannen was saying, but then I saw the warp disruption bubble and I was like, oh, maybe I can destroy that. Now you'll notice I'm not hitting this. That's because this thing has an optimal range of 5,000 meters. So until I'm within 5,000 meters, I just physically won't hit it.
Well, you might if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. But like, now that I'm in 5,000, you notice it's like its health's just massively dropping.
You should now stop your ship.
You've removed one irritation. Good. There's a problem, though. The Drifters deployed a second warp disruption generator. They must be really excited to keep you around. So you're going to have to... Oh, wait a second. We're out of time. Recruit. Looks like you're about to get your opportunity to fight for the Federation.
Now it's time to engage your weapons, Captain.
I guess I'm not supposed to immediately start, like, circling them or anything. Just my instinct for combat kicked in. It was like, I need to orbit this.
You want to explain to them why you want to orbit?
Yeah, you want to orbit a ship because when you're sitting still, you're a lot simpler to hit. Like, really, think about a fly that sits still on a windowsill. How much simpler is it to destroy that fly?
Don't forget to
Than
stop
when he's
your
buzzing
ship.
around the room.
Yeah, then when he's buzzing around your head.
Well done, recruit. Your first kill.
Which is a great
Flying
analogy
solo.
for it because when
This
he's around
kind of
your
combat
head,
experience is
you're
essential for
trying to
defending
target
the
this
liberties
little
of the
tiny
Federation.
thing.
All right,
Like,
on to the
intercept.
backup warp What? Wait, seems the Drifters are determined to get a hold of you.
It's time to engage. Fire your weapons. When you have defeated the Seeker, you should stop your ship.
There we go. So he's a ways out this time, so you're going to notice I'm starting to take more and more damage. As long as you're within shields or within hull, you're fine. Once you get into this third bar, panic time. You notice I'm missing completely. I wish I could get this damn thing to go away, so I could actually show you guys what I'm talking about. Because there's an optimal and a fall-off range. And those are things you do have to be worried about.
Good work, Captain. You can explore the Seeker wrecks to see if they left anything behind. Move your mouse over the wreckage and hold down the left mouse button. A radial menu. Activate your primary weapon to destroy the generator.
Okay. Can I please have this go away now, so I could show people what I'm talking about? No? Okay. Well, I can kind of show you here. So you can see that there is a fall-off range and an optimal range. After the fall-off range, you physically can't hit the target. When you're within the optimal range, to basically sitting on top of the target, you will have a much likelier, easy time targeting it. Targeting it and hitting it. Oh, by the way, you'll notice up here, we have some, like, our skills and such. Like, our thing keeps blinking. Well, I don't really know why it's blinking right now, but normally that tells you that something's changed on your grid. So, now that we're within our 7,000, we can take shots at it, and we might hit it. Now that we're within 5,000, we should hit it almost every time. Now, that being said, this is a static target. You notice even whenever I was...
Recruit, listen carefully, because you've run out of time here. A Drifter battleship squadron has warped to your location. By destroying the generator, you remove the warp disruption field that shrouded the site. Taking on this Drifter force will be a pointless waste of your life and freedom, not to mention those survivors, which Federal intelligence needs to debrief. Report to headquarters with your vessel and precious cargo now.
Warp drive active.
Okay. It says that there's some, like, an enemy.
Ship is fitted with a warp drive, which is capable of bending space and time in order to efficiently.
It says there's an enemy, but the thing is, actually, I've sat there for an hour or two. Nothing ever comes. And I'm talking a full actual hour I've sat there. Nothing ever comes.
Highlighted in the overview.
But effectively, they want you to warp to this and dock. You can either right-click on it and choose dock, or you can warp to 0 then dock. It's actually faster to do warp to 0. So you do warp to 0. That basically puts you right at the docking point. And then you click this button here that says dock. Requested. And accepted. And accepted. There you go.
Welcome to the Galente Federation Academy. Plenty of elite capsuleers began their journey here, going on to expand Federation influence across New Eden. Now, to our current situation. It turns out the Sisters of Eve research team had zeroed in on the whereabouts of the Drifters. And get this, it is some sort of massive hive. We are urgently requesting more information from Professor Tanner, but this result has attracted attention in high places. Due to your efforts, the Senate's Drifter Emergency Commission has authorized the Federation Navy to mobilize for a counterattack. This was made possible by your actions today. As a gesture of our appreciation, the Galente Federation has awarded you with a bonus in ISK. The money will be useful in your promising career, but it's not all. I've spoken on your behalf with Navy Command, and I've been given special authority to accelerate your capsuleer training. Because I want you to be a part of the counterattack.
Captain, bonus payments and accelerated training are quite unusual for a recruit of your status. It is an honor to be serving with you. I must warn you though, capsuleer training is the hardest, most complicated training process known to man. Only a fraction of pilots endure it. An accelerated process is going to be very challenging. However, so far you have been performing well. I am now providing you with a new module and skill book to officially start your training.
Okay. So, effectively, all she's basically said is, the capsular life sucks. And if you don't listen to what she says, you're gonna die. A lot.
By clicking on the highlighted Neocom menu, hovering to inventory, and clicking redeem items.
Okay. Now, if you guys use my referral link, you're gonna have this additional bonus 250,000 skill points. Now, remember how I told you that like we were planning for late game on this ship? Well, this is kind of how we're gonna accelerate this. You don't have to do this. Now, mind you, you can completely not have my referral, as I said, and still do everything that we're going to be doing. It's just gonna take a little longer.
The items will now be in your inventory in the station's
So.
item hangar. This is where all of your modules and items will be stored.
Okay, so basically
The
she...
ship hangar will display all of the ships at the current location.
Are you done, Aurora?
You now have the repair module in your inventory ready for use. To view it, open the highlighted inventory window from the Neocom and select the item hangar.
Aurora, thank you. You're a peach. So here's the thing. We're effectively going to use these skill points to kind of accelerate things. So to do that, you click over here, and then if you look, we've got this skill queue, right? And you can see this bar that goes all the way up to here. Well, I'm actually going to adjust a few things on the skill bar. Oops. Click. Move. You have to remove things in order, by the way. So, because we kind of want those drones quickly, because they're going to be the big part of our fitting. Like they are, they're probably the biggest part of our fitting. So what we're going to do is come over here, scroll down, find the Hobgoblin. Okay, what does he need? He needs drone 3. Okay, so done with that. Then we need to get light drone operation. So we go here, buy this item, buy one of this item. Now, mind you, when you do this...
Recruit, your accelerated training is sure going to begin with a vital mission. One of the Federation's advanced research outposts in the region has gone off the grid. This one, Recruit, is a black site. The research outpost is a facility where the Sisters of Eve have been working with us. As the rescuer of their people, the Sisters have asked that you be the one to carry out the investigation.
I think we just skipped a section of story.
And Aura will help you get ready.
Captain, I am running different preparation scenarios. Research outposts like these often contain highly sensitive data troves that are securely encrypted. I believe it would be wise to upgrade your ship's capability with a data analyzer module. However, it seems like the Empire's stock of analyzers in this region are fully depleted due to ongoing drifter attacks. After analysis, it is my conclusion you should build one.
Okay,
So
so...
you're gonna build a data analyzer for your mission. Makes sense to me, but you'll need the necessary materials to construct it. The best way to get materials for this is to raid the stores of the local pirates. Those scum have abused the Federation's freedoms and are a blight on our democracy. Still, they're bound to be hoarding supplies, and that means they'll likely have what you need. Now, don't worry too much about how much you confiscate. Think of anything extra as a bonus. Remember, the Federation's laws are enacted for the good of the people. Those of us who defend those laws should be rightly rewarded.
So basically what they said is that we got to go kick the
Now
crap
you
out of these
should
people.
upgrade your ship by fitting a repair module to it. To do this, right-click on the module and select Fit to Active Ship. Okay.
For somebody who's played, this tutorial is annoying as all hell. For somebody who's not played, this tutorial is perfect. Like, really is. Okay, so now we're going to look at the light armor maintenance bot, and we want to kind of look and go, what do I need to get going? And we need drone 5. So that's going to be the heart of our thing here. We're going to get this to drone 4, and then because you'll see that we can't immediately do that, we have to go here, and we go apply skill points. And that's going to immediately do that.
Training completed.
Okay, but now we need drones 5. Remember, we do need drones 5. Okay. So, we're going to take drones 4 up to where it's only got 6 hours left with the rest of that. Now, what that does for you guys is that effectively drops almost 7 days of training. Now, for those who may or may not be aware, 7 days of training is 7 real days, as I've said before, but it's also a very long time. So, but the more drones you have trained, the more you can have out. So remember how we have 5 and 5? Well, this actually lets us have 5 active drones now. Well, in 6 hours it will. But right now we can have up to 4 active drones, which will be great for us. However, we're going to kind of stop the tutorial for a second, and we're going to go get some money. Because we need money, right? Everyone needs money. So, our ship's outfitted with some rather interesting things. The starter ship will always be outfitted with a civilian miner and a civilian Gatling. Which I've always wondered, can you fit things to the Gatling? No. So it's just a gun. Not a bad gun, but a gun. Oh, and it also has a civilian afterburner. Wait. Oh, shit. Alright, so those of you may be wondering, how do you plan to get money? The quest is telling you to go do blah, 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 blah. We don't care about the quest. We're going to go to just any old asteroid belt. Click the mining tab, go to the asteroid belt, and go there. We're just going to do this to get some quick cash. This does take a little bit, but it's worthwhile cause. This little thing right here is a civilian miner. As long as you're within 10 kilometers of a rock, you can mine it. Asteroid belts are made up of nothing but rocks. So, you can get lots of materials. By the way, at the 1 hour mark, we will be cutting the episode, and then we'll be moving to another episode. So just find a Veldspar. Closest one to you, probably.
Veldspar is most everywhere.
Yeah, Veldspar is pretty well able to be found everywhere. And if you want to turn on your afterburner, it'll make you move faster. Once you're within 10 kilometers, you can start your rock mining process. Just set it to orbit the Veldspar rock. You don't have much space, because in this particular little ship, you only have 135 M3. Now, the reason I was telling you not to make the same mistake I made is because I actually tried to mine up to buying my own venture in this damn little thing. And I'm not gonna lie, it takes forever. Like, I literally spent 2 weeks trying to get to a venture. There's a really simple way to do it. I found this out later, and I'll be showing it on here. But, real quick, we just want to get a quick little bit of money. Because this little rock, it sells for a little bit, but not much. And the civilian miner's pretty fast. So, I'm going to have Jesse come over here and monitor this for just a second, because I have to step off. So, Jesse, would you mind coming over here and introducing yourself? Because you're going to be part of the series soon. Can you drop the window? Okay. Sorry, guys, it's starting to rain, so I got to drop the window real quick.
On the kid.
On the kid. There you go. There you go. So, Jesse is my wife, and she's also a co-pilot of mine in EVE Online. She will be taking over occasionally from time to time,
I haven't
and
played
she
it
is effectively the epitome of a rookie. So, this will be a great way for you to actually experience what a rookie thinks. So, Jesse, come over here and explain who you are, what you do, and what you do in EVE.
What I did in EVE.
What you did in EVE. Yeah, because you haven't played in a while. The headset is somehow magically tangled again. How does this thing keep doing this? let you have the headset. Once that's full, if you don't mind, go back to Sister Vent. Okay?
Sister vent.
Yeah, just click on the General tab,
Alright.
and then just go back. There's only one station.
Alright.
Just drop everything off in the inventory, and then go rinse and repeat.
Okay. But hi guys, I'm Jesse, like you already introduced. I played many years ago with a couple of friends, long before it became free to play. After that, I got out of it for quite a long time. Then I played for maybe about 2 weeks alongside the Gray, the gentleman who just stepped off. And, well, when I got back on, it was a little different, and I definitely did not want to play like I did before. Before, I was helping miners by defending them. So, I was in a little interceptor. Not really much help for anything.
Might have to explain what an interceptor is.
Tiny, annoying mosquito. You hover, you orbit someone as close as possible, and they can't lock onto you before you've moved to another spot. So, yeah. You know that annoying mosquito that's way too close to your face and you swing at it and it's easily dodging you? That's an interceptor. They also smash like a mosquito, too. You get a hit on one, they're pretty much dead. When I came back to Eve along with Gray, I decided I did not want to do being an interceptor. We had other people who wanted to fight. I didn't want to fight. So instead, I looked up, what else can I do in here? And I decided I wanted to go into something that not a lot of people wanted to be. I wanted to go into salvaging. Now, salvaging can get you a lot of profit, but you can also get in a lot of trouble because most people don't abandon their wrecks. They just, which you actually have to select and abandon. Most people just kind of leave them be. And
What are we on?
I don't even know what I'm looking at, so.
No, I mean, what are we talking about?
Oh, talking about salvaging.
Okay.
And most people don't abandon their wrecks. They just leave them be because they don't care.
Yep.
They can't get anything from it.
Okay, we're full, by the way.
Oh, okay, that's what that sound was then.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to show you how to do this.
I don't
'Cause you're
mind.
still- I know, you're still explaining yourself though. So, click the General tab. You already have. Right click here. And then click Duck.
Okay, but like I was saying, most people don't abandon their wrecks. Please, for the love of all salvagers, the cockroaches of Eve, you need us for the parts that we can get for you. If you cannot get anything from a wreck, please abandon. Please. I mean,
You'll have to explain that when we get into combat. How to do abandoning.
But it's simple.
Again, we're thinking that complete rookies are going to see this.
I know, but I can at least tell them beforehand, and then they can get a refresher when it happens.
Yeah.
Basically, you right-click on the destroyed corpse of your enemy. Hopefully by your own hand, but if not, and instead is by a friend or one of your drones, more power to you. At least you have other people. Will you stop teasing the cat?
I'm not teasing the cat!
Yes, you are.
I'm pooping her with a donut.
That's teasing her.
Okay, you remember how to open your inventory?
Kind of.
It may already be open.
But regardless, you just right-click on the corpse of your enemy. There should be a selection that says Abandon. And that's as simple as it is. And if you have someone salvaging, if it was in my case and I didn't ask you for it, but you did, hey, I'd still try and offer you some compensation. Because that solves Concord getting angry at me. Though it's just considered a suspicious thing anymore, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. No longer can you get killed for it.
Alright, but I'm going to hand this off back to Gray. And enjoy.
And that will be our co-pilot for the series. She'll be in and out every once in a while.
You might hear random squeaks in the background.
Hey, love, next time you go down for water, can you bring me some?
You're wanting water too?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know it is. Well, basically, all we're doing right now, and I'm just waiting till I get 3 loads, then we'll cut the episode. We're literally just banking up some money real quick to be able to buy skill books. Because the place that you start off at is a training facility, which is great because it allows you to effectively get all the skills you want for any type of ship you want to fly from this one hub. Now, I actually have a place that I operate out of that we'll get to later.
Probably not revealed.
Huh?
Probably not revealed.
No, it'll be revealed. I mean, in all honesty, I only operate there because it's just kind of out of the way. It really is an inconvenience for most players to be able to go to a place like that.
Well, I mean, I know this.
Actually, no. You know what? For this series, we're actually going to operate out of somewhere completely new. Because, in all honesty, you're not going to know immediately where to go. Nor are you probably going to ever even remember how to spell Sister Vent.
I was going to get into the politics of certain things online in Eve.
What, do you mean the ganking, spoilers, raiders, harbingers, people that love to just terrorize you for fun?
Uh-huh.
No, I wasn't going to get into that.
Oh. That would be the best thing to warn them about, because sad as it is, people, my sister's ex-husband is part, or has been part of a particular squad that I shall not name. The first question when he found out Gray here was playing Eve, what section are you playing out of? The correct answer is, I'm not answering that.
I'm not answering that, or I don't remember.
You do not tell
Something
people.
that starts with an X. Always something that starts with an X, because I don't think there are any sectors that start with an X. I could be wrong.
There probably is something that starts with an X. Just to mess with you. But, for, online etiquette, it is not bad etiquette to tell people that you are not comfortable telling them where you operate out of.
Huh.
Didn't something happen with
I am not comfortable taking my top off to reveal where I operate out of. Thank you. Most of my characters have been female. So the running joke was that I had my location of home written on my boobs.
Why?
It was an RP joke that just stuck. I don't know why.
But how does that even help you?
They like their own boobs.
Why? And then your channel gets marked as adult.
My channel should already be adult.
I get
Yeah, you're supposed to be 18 to view my content, guys.
just, a heads up.
Yeah, just a small heads up.
Which you can't police people.
Yep.
So, if you are such...
Oh,
please.
and here's the other thing. Real quick, before Jesse finishes her statement. EVE Online is a very adult-centered game. If you are a parent watching this thinking this would be fun to play with an underage child, as long as you keep general chat or local chat turned off and only have it to where they can view only your chat, it's okay to play with them. Otherwise, expect there to be extremely adult-centric material. There are a lot of things involving sex, nudity, drugs, alcohol, pirating, solicitation of hookers. There are a lot of things that are not necessarily rated by the ESRB because it is an online interaction. Online interactions are not rated by the ESRB.
It can't be. It's people.
Yeah, it's other people. So just keep that in mind if you are one of those parents that are like, oh, this looks like it'd be fun to play with my 12-year-old. as long as they're only working with you, yeah, no, it's a blast. But if they're working with the general public, probably not so much.
Also,
Also,
vibes of kill me.
yeah, kill mail. Those are hilarious. So, you notice we've done 2 runs of this, and I'm just dragging stuff to my item hanger, right? The 2 runs that we have done so far are worth 30,000 ISK. We effectively want to go until we have a little over 50,000 ISK to repay what we just bought. Most skill books starting off are not going to be very expensive. Different ores do sell for different things, though, so keep that in mind. And also, again, this is a very slow way to do this. I'm just doing this real quick to get up a small capital. If I actually went and did these missions, I would have almost as much.
That kitten just looked at me very disgruntled.
Yeah, well, she was sleeping earlier. Until I started booping her with a donut.
I told you were harassing her.
I wasn't harassing, I was booping. Alright, guys. So, after this load, we will end the episode. I know it's a rather long episode, but I wanted to get you guys through the general introductions and give you guys a real quick introduction to myself, my co-pilot, and the things that we will be doing together. Because, I hate to say it, if you don't know who we are, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense when you jump into episode 5 and we're like, hey, Jezzy, bring me blah, 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 blah. Right? It's not going to make any sense. Jezzy will not be bringing me any materials other than things that I have already gotten. Meaning, if she brings me something, it's something we do already have on this series. It will never be, hey, go ahead and lend me 100,000 ISK. Or anything of that nature.
From 0-0.
Yeah, or bring me something from Nullsec. We're never going to do that. Okay? This will literally be as though I'm playing solo, except just having somebody to talk to. And that sounds really weird, but, like, this game, like, you kind of see what I'm doing. I'm orbiting a rock, shooting a laser at it. This is effectively what I do on my other 2 accounts.
Eve is a very lonely game.
It can be a very lonely game. But, at the same time, it's very relaxing. It's an amazing game that you can do amazing things with. But, you have to keep in mind that effectively, you are alone, and everyone's out for themselves. There is no, hey, let me be your buddy because of I want to party up. That doesn't really exist. I mean, it does in a very small, in very small select communities, but for the most part, you are alone. But that's the great freedom of this game. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. Like, for instance, notice I've just kind of ditched the tutorial, and I'm off mining. Well, there actually will be a part of the tutorial that will have me come out and mine here in a bit, but with a better ship. I just can't remember what all they ask you to mine, so it's like, I will just go ahead and mine for cash right now, and then I'll do the tutorial on the next episode. And keep in mind, at the same time, I will be playing my Omegas alongside this. My Omegas are paid accounts, though. This was just me wanting to show people that it is possible, and, you know, doing weird things, you can even get to Omega state. It just will take a while, and it will take basically playing every day. I mean, it doesn't technically take playing every day. You could do it playing, you know, every 3 days, but you'd have to structure things very well.
It's an investment.
Yeah. Also, if you guys use the referral link below, there will be a small bonus if you guys become Omegas. For me, I will actually get subscriber time for my main account, but keep in mind, that's not why I'm doing this. I'm actually doing this because I find Eve to be a blast, and
You should show them your spreadsheets at some point.
I don't know that I can show them my spreadsheets. I have, like, spreadsheets on spreadsheets on spreadsheets because I've wanted to, like, delve down into, you know, timelines and, like, getting the absolute maximum out of things. Hence why I know that, you know, mining this Veldspar, which is this ore that I'm mining, I know that technically it doesn't look like much, but this small investment right now will save me so much money later. Like, technically, if I were to invest in minor ones, I believe... can I even get minor ones right now? Variations, minor ones. Yeah, I can use minor ones. Like, if I were to invest in minor ones, actually, let me see. Are there any minor ones in system? Oh, always sort your stuff by price if you can. Get 2 of these. I'll show you why I'm doing that here in a second. That's actually not for this ship. It's actually for another ship later on. But we'll use it on this ship as well.
Warp drive active.
Alright, actually, we're gonna right-click dock. I'm gonna be lazy.
Warp drive active.
So this little haul right here that we just did, that took us a little while. Not a great amount of time, but took us a little while. That is worth 15,000 M3, or 15,000 ISK. A lot of things in EVE are classified by how much ISK do they make per hour. This particular investment will not net you very much. Per hour, you might make 110,000 ISK. Roughly. Like, and mind you, that's rough. And we're trying to gain enough to become an Omega. An Omega takes you a little over 1.1 billion ISK. Okay? So that's gonna be a big investment. But at the same time, there's no rush because we're playing for free. Okay, so stack all. So if you look right now, we have our minor 2s, and we've got this Veldspar. If we right-click on this Veldspar, we can sell it. Somebody here will be buying it. There's always somebody buying Veldspar in the beginner town because, I mean, why wouldn't you if you're a pro player? You'll realize that you're technically able to buy this Veldspar, take it to another trade hub, and sell it for tons of money.
Because
It's a yeah, because people don't understand what this is actually worth. So we're gonna actually make 47,000 off it, but we're gonna do what the tutorial wants us to do. We're gonna open our ship fitting window. Then we're gonna unfit something, which will be this. Then we're gonna fit this to it. Oh wait, shit, we didn't even need to unfit that.
To train a new skill, simply drag the skill book from your item hanger into your training queue.
Or you could just
Occurs
click
over
and
time, regardless of what you may be doing. You should now drag the frigate skill book in your item hanger to the top of the training queue.
Now, it wants you to train this first skill, which will take 33 minutes. We're gonna need it.
Your ship is now equipped with a repair module, an afterburner for speed, and a civilian weapon system for dealing damage. I now calculate your combat odds against a moderate-sized pirate gang to be at an acceptable level. As the pirates are outlaws in New Eden, there are bounties on their heads. Captain, proceed to neutralize those pirates and earn those bounties. I have highlighted the undock option for you. You should press this when you wish to leave the station and travel the stars.
Okay, so we need Galente Frigate 3. That gets it to 3 there. See, and this is another thing. Like, you can look here, and this is going to take us a day to get into this. So, at the in the short term, I'm planning for very long-term things. It's like, how much is this book, just out of curiosity? This book right here is 100,000 just by itself. And then if we look at the cruiser, we buy this. This right here is 500,000. So I mean, that's gonna take a little while, right? Well, not really. Actually, with what we'll be doing after we get done with this tutorial, it's not gonna take very long at all, actually. Which is great. Oh, they automatically start me off with level 3 mining.
Nice.
Nice. So that's perfectly already acceptable then. But we actually have that for a later ship. After we run through a tutorial here in a bit, it basically we will.
I have calculated the location of the nearest pirate outpost. You should now click on the location marker icon in the info panel.
Yeah, just for this tutorial, you just click here. But we're gonna go ahead and stop the recording. You guys have a wonderful evening, and see you guys next time.
Bye.